Is this the end of everything? Why did Jungkook suddenly say something that sounded like his final words? Is there something happening behind the scenes that the public doesn't know about? And why did that sentence make millions of armies around the world cry uncontrollably? One sentence. Just a few seconds, but enough to make the whole world pause. Jungkook, the golden magne of BTS, recently said words that instantly shook everyone who heard them. The sentence was simple, yet full of meaning. A statement that was not only touching but also shocking, containing clues about something far greater. And since that moment, armies around the world haven't been able to sleep peacefully. What exactly happened? And is this truly a farewell message? Surprise after surprise continues to unfold. In a live broadcast that initially seemed ordinary, Jungkook appeared with a somber face, reddened eyes, and an expression he couldn't hide. As fans began to notice the change in his facial expression, the mood slowly shifted. There was no signature Jungkook laughter, no light jokes like usual, only a silence hanging in the air. Then, with a voice that almost trembled, he uttered that sentence, which instantly struck deep in the hearts of everyone who heard it. I want you to know, I truly love you. This might be the last time I can say this directly. And that's when everything changed. Hundreds of thousands of viewers who watched the live broadcast in real time instantly fell silent, before tears began to stream down their faces one by one. Many of them immediately wrote on social media, wondering, searching for clarity, even hoping this was just a joke. But Jungkook's facial expression showed this was no ordinary sentence. There was pain, there was pressure, and there was something he was hiding. Questions arose endlessly. Is Jungkook sick? Is he experiencing something the public doesn't know? Or is this related to his future in the entertainment world? The phrase "last time" became the center of speculation. Some linked it to the military service he's currently undergoing, but many believed it was something far bigger than that. What made it even more shocking was the response from the other BTS members. Not one of them gave a direct clarification. Even Big Hit only released a formal statement with no comforting content. This only made speculation run wilder. Armies started digging up old video clips, looking for clues if Jungkook had given hints about this long ago. And what they found was truly unexpected. Apparently, in some of his last appearances before enlisting, Jungkook was indeed more emotional, often seen crying, even hugging members in a different way. So, is this truly a farewell message? Is Jungkook hiding something he can't reveal publicly? Some fans believe this might be related to the mental pressure he feels as a global idol. In several past interviews, Jungkook had mentioned exhaustion, loneliness, even concerns over the excessive expectations placed on him. He once said there were times he felt like he wasn't a human being, but merely a symbol. Could those final words be an emotional outburst he had been holding in? Yet to this day, the big question remains unanswered. What did those words truly mean? Is Jungkook really planning to stop? Or was this just an emotional expression that shouldn't be taken literally? And why is Big Hit staying silent even though public pressure is mounting? Speculation continues to grow. Some Korean media outlets reported that Jungkook is considering his future after military service. Some say he wants a quieter life, away from the spotlight, even living a completely new life. Rumors have spread that he bought a house overseas, in a location undisclosed to the public. Others say this is all tied to a secret project that will be announced once all the members have completed their military service. But is that really true? Interestingly, a well-known insider account in the Korean entertainment world hinted that Jungkook's emotional words were part of BTS's post-military grand plan. That there will be major changes in the group's format, perhaps even the formation of a subunit involving emotional decisions. But of course, this has yet to be confirmed. What is certain is that this curiosity won't die down until Jungkook himself or his agency gives a definitive answer. Meanwhile, ARMY's psychological condition has become a serious concern. Many young fans admitted feeling devastated, lost, and unsure what to hope for. Mental health professionals have begun issuing warnings that a fandom as massive as BTS has a very real emotional impact on its followers. Some psychological communities have even held special online forums to help armies understand and calm themselves in the midst of this uncertainty. On the other hand, Jungkook himself has not reappeared publicly since that emotional broadcast. No updates on his Weverse account, no activity on Instagram, and no sightings from the military location. This silence only strengthens the curiosity. Is he intentionally disappearing to give himself time? Or is something more serious actually happening? Some industry observers say Jungkook's emotional statement could be the beginning of a new BTS era, that they may be planning something bigger than a regular comeback. But of course, this hope comes with anxiety, because in the end, every sentence Jungkook utters carries a heavy weight. His words are not only heard, they are felt and internalized. What makes everything so touching is that the final sentence was not just a goodbye. Behind its simplicity lies infinite love. I truly love you. That sentence was meant for no one but ARMY. A confession that was pure, sincere, and full of emotion. And because of that, its effect was so deep. Now, the whole world is waiting. Waiting for Jungkook's return. Waiting for an explanation. Waiting for a warm digital embrace that can slightly ease this grief. But one thing is certain. ARMY's love for Jungkook will never fade. Even if this truly was the last sentence they ever hear from him, that love will remain eternal. But is this really his final words? Or is it the beginning of something greater? Something we can't yet imagine. Will Jungkook return with a surprise that leaves the world speechless again? Or has he truly chosen to slowly disappear, leaving the stage that raised him since his teenage years? It's still too early to say for sure. But one thing is clear, not a single ARMY will allow that sentence to be the end. Because to them, Jungkook is not just an idol, he is a part of their lives. And until this mystery is fully answered, the world will keep asking, what really happened when Jungkook said those final words? After widespread wild speculation circulating on social media and causing deep anxiety among armies, one by one the facts are finally starting to be revealed. The emotion and commotion caused by the sentence, I truly love you all. This might be the last time I can say this directly. Turns out to have been misunderstood by many, twisted by sensationalist media, and exaggerated without accurate clarification. Therefore, it is important for the public, especially ARMY, to understand the real truth so that they are not trapped in baseless worry. First of all, it must be clarified that Jungkook's statement was made in the context of his upcoming military service, meaning he won't be able to directly interact with fans for about 2 years. That sentence was not a permanent farewell or a signal that he would leave the entertainment world. On the contrary, it was an expression of love and emotion that came from his sadness, because he has to take a break from active communication with ARMY, who have always been his source of strength. Many armies who watched the full live stream stated that the media had taken Jungkook's sentence out of context and spread it with clickbait headlines just to gain clicks. In fact, after saying those words, Jungkook continued to joke, smile, and reassured fans that he would return after completing his military duty. He even shared messages asking ARMY to stay healthy, happy, and wait for him without worried. Big Hit Music itself, through an official statement released a few days after the emotional live stream, confirmed that there were no plans for retirement, resignation, or farewell from Jungkook. All BTS members, including Jungkook, are committed to returning as a group after completing their respective military duties. That emotional sentence was something completely normal for someone about to disappear temporarily from the public eye, especially for a global star like Jungkook, who regularly interacts with fans daily through Weverse and other platforms. It cannot be denied that the emotional impact of that sentence was huge. But this only shows how deep the bond is between Jungkook and his fans. He's not just a public figure, but someone who has been present in the lives of many people as an inspiration, a motivator, and a source of comfort. So it's no surprise that a single misinterpreted statement could cause such a massive domino effect. However, this also highlights the importance of thinking critically, filtering information, and not blindly believing viral news that has not been verified. In addition, there were many who took advantage of the moment to spread disinformation for attention. A lot of edited videos, manipulative narratives, and overly emotional articles were created just to chase engagement on social media. This is certainly unfortunate, as it ultimately worsens the situation and traps fans in unnecessary fear. Currently, Jungkook is undergoing his military service, just like any other South Korean citizen. He is not sick, not retiring, and not experiencing an existential crisis, as many have speculated. He is simply going through a temporary life phase. ARMYs only need to wait patiently, because 2 years will pass, and BTS will return in full formation, as they have promised repeatedly. A final note, let us reflect on the essence of Jungkook's so-called shocking sentence. Behind the word last, it does not mean he is leaving forever. It was simply a sincere expression from a young man who loves his fans dearly and feels heavy-hearted about leaving them for a while. It was an act of affection, not a farewell. And for true ARMYs, this is not the end. It is a moment to further strengthen their love and loyalty. Therefore, the news claiming that Jungkook said his final words and made ARMY cry because he's leaving forever is not true. That sentence was indeed spoken, but not in the context of permanent departure. Let us fight disinformation with clarification and not allow fear to overpower the truth, because if we truly understand Jungkook, we know he will never leave ARMY.